What if humans no longer need to die? This is not a sci-fi movie, it is not a distant AI future, but it is happening now. Now there's one man trying to solve that question with over 100 pills a day, 30 doctors on his call, and I spend $2 million on a yearly basis. His name is Bryan Johnson, and he thinks he can hack death. Bryan Johnson isn't your average health nut. He's a billionaire who has sold Venmo to PayPal for over $800 million and then turned his body into a full-time anti-aging experiment. He calls his life plan Blueprint, an algorithm to outsmart aging. To some, he's a visionary. Now to others, he's a Silicon Valley billionaire nut job who's afraid to die. But what we know is this: no one is actually tracking aging more obsessively than Bryan Johnson himself. Here is his daily diet. 3 meals a day. One of them is a pudding made out of nuts, chia seeds, and berries. He doesn't take sugar, no alcohol, and no late night snacks. Now his body fat is less than 7%. His bedtime, 8:30 p.m. sharp. Now Blueprint isn't just a wellness routine, it has become some sort of like an engineering system. And he tracks everything. Everything from his colon movement up to his nighttime erections. He takes over 100 supplements a day using AI to manage his own protocol. It's come to a certain point where he doesn't even trust his own natural instinct. But here's the plot twist. Even with all the data, the control, and the millions of dollars invested, some of Bryan's own experiments have started to backfire. Take rapamycin for example, a drug well known for extending mouse lifespans. Now, Bryan Johnson tried it for a couple of years and then quit. Why? Because it gave him mouth ulcers, poor wound healing, and even accelerated his cellular aging. Now, in his own words, trying to cheat death might actually make death stronger. In 2021, Bryan Johnson founded Project Blueprint. Now, this project wasn't just personal. It has become a brand, a startup, with supplements, epigenetic tests, and even mushroom coffee. Bryan claimed profit wasn't the goal, but the media questioned it. The New York Times reported that Blueprint is losing up to $1 million every month. Critics began asking, is this longevity or is it just another wellness business in disguise? And for Bryan, who sees himself as a prophet, not a CEO, the commercial tension may have been too much for him. Now in mid-2025, Bryan Johnson shocked the entire world. He announced he's ready to sell or even shut down Project Blueprint entirely. It's not because he failed, but because it's distracting him from his real mission, building a new philosophy. One where death isn't accepted, where humans start to merge a little bit with AI and machines, and where living forever isn't just science fiction, it's actually salvation. He actually calls it a religion, and this religion's name, wait for it, it's called Don't Die. Now here, longevity doctors are divided. Some say that Bryan is improving the right biomarkers, VO2 max, cholesterol, telomeres, and others say it's just scientific overkill, that no stack of pills can rewrite our biology and our destiny. Now his critics call it obsessive, elitist, and even outright dangerous. But no one denies he's making people ask a very sensitive question. Can we slow down aging? And more importantly, can we actually stop it? There is something enigmatic about Bryan Johnson. He's not selling enlightenment. He's not selling anti-aging pills anymore. He's selling hope. Whether it works really doesn't really matter anymore, because Bryan is no longer asking how to live longer. He's asking, what if death itself is a natural design flaw? Maybe we won't live forever. Maybe we'll never be able to stop the clock. What Project Blueprint proves is that one man can turn death into a question. And sometimes the questions are more powerful than the answers. Now, that's the end of the video. What do you think of Bryan Johnson and Project Blueprint? Let me know in the comments below. If you like this particular video, do like, subscribe, and share this with your family and friends. And that's it from me. I'm Dr. Ingky. Remember to stay safe, stay healthy, and most importantly, stay informed.